Dad, can you tell us again where we come from?
Yeah, the whole story from the beginning.
All right, but this time, pay close attention, because this isn't just history, this is our story. In the beginning, the Most High formed Adam and Eve. He gave them laws, wisdom, and dominion. From them began the family of mankind. But as wickedness spread, the Lord flooded the earth, saving only one righteous man, Noah and his family. Through the lineage of Noah's son Shem came one of my favorite forefathers, Abraham, a man of faith, obedience, and righteousness, a man who commanded his household according to the laws of the Most High. Abraham had Isaac. Isaac had Jacob and Esau, two manner of people different from the womb. Esau came out red all over, like a hairy garment, but Jacob, later named Israel, chosen by the Most High to carry the promise, through Leah, Rachel, and his two concubines, Bilhah and Zilpah. Israel had 12 sons: Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher, Joseph, and Benjamin. When they were young, Joseph was hated by his brothers and sold into slavery, carried into Egypt. Through trials and faith, Joseph rose from a prisoner to second in command over all Egypt. During this time, he had two sons, Ephraim and Manasseh. When famine struck, his brothers came to Egypt seeking help, not knowing the powerful ruler before them was their own brother. Years later, a new king in Egypt arose which knew not Joseph. He enslaved our people with hard bondage and oppression, and the Most High raised up Moses to deliver them. Pharaoh's heart was hardened again and again, so the Lord plagued Egypt with mighty signs and wonders, until finally he parted the Red Sea and led Israel through on dry ground. And the Lord himself guided us, a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. Moses ascended Mount Sinai, where the Most High gave him the commandments, which he delivered to our people, laws to govern our nation. But because of disobedience, our people wandered 40 years in the wilderness, until the Most High raised Joshua to lead us into the Promised Land. And during the era of the judges, the Lord raised up mighty men like Gideon and Samson to deliver the children of Israel from their enemies. In our land, Israel became a nation. Saul was made our first king. Then came David, the young shepherd who slew Goliath and ruled with righteousness. As king, David reigned over Israel for 40 years, 7 years in Hebron and 33 years in Jerusalem. David's son Solomon ruled in unmatched wisdom, but later he fell into sin, and because of that, the kingdom split, Northern Kingdom and Southern Kingdom. The Northern Kingdom turned to idolatry and was taken captive by the Assyrians. Then Babylon invaded Judah, destroying our temple and taking our people into captivity. After 70 years, leaders like Ezra and Nehemiah returned to rebuild Jerusalem and restore order. During the reign of the Persian Empire, our foremother Hadassah, whose name was later changed to Esther, was raised up to become queen to King Ahasuerus. At that time, a wicked man named Haman devised a deceitful plot to destroy all the Israelites scattered throughout the empire. When Esther's cousin Mordecai learned of the decree, he called upon Esther to act, risking her own life, went before the king uninvited, and revealed both her identity and Haman's wicked plot. Haman was exposed, and he was executed on the very gallows he had prepared for Mordecai. In remembrance of this great reversal and victory, Esther and Mordecai established the 2-day Feast of Purim, a memorial that our people continue to keep to this day. When the Greeks tried to erase our laws and heritage, our forefathers, the Maccabees, fought back, and the temple was rededicated. That's the Feast of Dedication. In time, Christ was born. But Herod, fearing prophecy, murdered the young children of Israel. Christ taught the people, healed the sick, cast out devils, and multitudes followed him. Christ taught, healed, and moved the people. And many believed on him, except the scribes and Pharisees, who plotted continually to destroy him. Christ was betrayed, arrested, and crucified. He died for our sins, the sins of Israel. After his resurrection, the disciples spread the gospel throughout our people. Paul and the apostles traveled throughout the lands, as the prophecies foretold, teaching Israel scattered in Corinth, Galatia, Rome, Ephesus, Philippi, Thessalonica, and many other places. When Rome destroyed Jerusalem in 70 AD, our people fled into Africa, Spain, and Portugal, building great kingdoms across both continents. Centuries later, in Spain and Portugal, the Inquisition targeted us, the Jews. Then came the papal bulls, laws permitting our capture and enslavement. From there began the transatlantic slave trade. Israelites shipped in chains to the Americas, the Caribbean, and beyond. We lost our names, heritage, language, and laws, just as the scriptures said we would. But the Most High promised we would remember ourselves. Kimpa Vita, also known as Donna Beatriz, taught in the early 1700s that Christ and the Israelites were black. Gabriel Prosser was born enslaved in Virginia around 1775. Inspired by the Bible, he planned a revolt in Richmond in 1800. Nat Turner, known as the Prophet, was an enslaved man in Virginia who led a rebellion in 1831 after being moved by Bible teachings and visions. William Saunders Crowdy, 1896, established the Church of God and Saints of Christ. Although he taught blacks were God's people, he mixed a lot of Christianity in his teaching. Enoch Mjijima was a Hosa prophet in South Africa, who formed a church called the Israelites in the early 1900s. Frank S. Cherry taught in the late 1800s that African Americans were descendants of the ancient Israelites. Wentworth A. Matthews taught in the early 1900s that African Americans were the original Jews. Israel Ben Newman and Mordecai Herman founded the Moorish Zionist Temple in Harlem in 1921, one of the earliest Hebrew Israelite congregations in New York City. Rabbi Arnold Josiah Ford founded Beth B'nai Israel in Harlem and became a spiritual influence on Wentworth A. Matthews. The civil rights movement rose to national prominence in the mid-1950s. Leaders and groups like Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, fought against segregation and racial discrimination through the 1960s. Eber bin Yamyam, also known as Abba Bivens, taught in the mid-1900s that black people, Latinos, and Native Americans were all Israelites. Ben Carter, also known as Ben Ami, led about 300 Israelites from Chicago to Liberia in the late 1960s, seeking to escape the curses and oppression in America, but soon found that hardship and political pressure followed them overseas. Ulan Mitchell Jr., also known as Yahweh ben Yahweh, established the Nation of Yahweh in the late 1970s. Moshe ben Kareem, also known as Masha, helped carry on Abba Bivens' teachings with Yaikwab in the late 1960s and 1970s. And in 1969, the truth rose again through the works of the 7 elders. And from that awakening, from a small basement, came IUIC, to an exceeding great army, spreading the commandments and the faith of Christ across the earth from 2003 to today.
Dad, that's our history.
Yes, and the story isn't over. You are the next chapter.
So let's live like the kings and princesses we were meant to be.